Okay.
Ja, nee.
Any thoughts about last weekend?
Yeah, I think for us as a team, we learned a lot out of last weekend. I think we didn't go into the game as focused as needed. But I think for us, we learned our lessons, and luckily it's early in the season. We still have time to make up and to play. And I think it's a good thing for us as a team that it happened, so we can get back to earth and start working again.
The days of going up against a direct opponent is, especially at the breakdowns, not there anymore. But on Saturday, the last couple of minutes there, you guys were beaten once or twice at the breakdown as well. Is that you've got Lappies this week? He's obviously a very dangerous guy at the breakdown as well. Thoughts there?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's every weekend is a different challenge, but I think for us last weekend we slipped up on our cleaners, and that made them get onto the ball, and then we made it easy for them, where other teams made it difficult for us. So I think each week is a different challenge, but it's a good thing. Each week is a challenge, so we can step up and get better as a player.
You guys, in the way they came back in the last 20, obviously stunned Sways and stunned you guys as well. The Sunwolves don't present the same challenge. You don't reckon? I suppose the thing is not to let your guys' standards slip to the same level, that you keep your standards high this weekend.
Yeah, I don't think you must underestimate any team, but I think we weren't up to standard in our last 20 minutes because we measure ourselves against ourselves, and they scored tries of our mistakes. We lost too many balls at breakdown, and we lost ball in contact. So I think that gave them the opportunity to counter and to attack us.
Kwagga, do you as a player on the field, those last 20, when you so far ahead, and they start that comeback, how does it feel for the team on the field? Do you feel things starting to the momentum starting to shift and things starting to slip away?
Yeah, I think we had good control first half, and we lost a bit of control beginning second half, and then at the end we lost the control. Like I said, we lost ball in contact, and that gave the control to them. So I think for us we must be more clinical, keeping ball in hand and playing the teams to make them tired, not to give them ball to run at us.
Well, after your Barbarians game last year, obviously you had a great game there, and not just then, you become a bit of a cult figure here at the Spark. How do you feel about that? Is it something that you find strange, the way people react to you?
No, I think you always work to be the best and to become the best, and I think for me there's still a lot of improvement that I have to work on, and obviously I have my goals set for this year and for next year, so I'm definitely working hard to get there, and it's luckily I'm in a good system and a good team, good coaching, so it's easier for me to perform.
And those goals? So talk a bit about
that. No, definitely I want to wear the green and gold jersey this year for 15 man.
Kwagga, the Sevens, I know this is not a Sevens forum, but I mean the Commonwealth Games is coming up. What is the situation around you and that?
Yeah, I think we all sit around the table and we've spoken about it. We said if Yakukuru is ready to play, then obviously it makes sense, then I can go. But it doesn't help. I go there, I get an injury, and then we're sitting with a problem here at the Lions. So I said to Coach Neil also where my goals are and what's going to happen if something like that happened. And unlucky it happened now that Yaku needed to get an operation again. So I think it's not going to happen that I will be released to play the Commonwealth Games.
You obviously, that's a decision from your side, and you happy and content with that?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's why we all sit around the table and we've made decisions, and I think for me also it makes sense. It doesn't help. I want to become a Springbok, but then I already missed one game against the Bulls, so I don't want to miss more games, and then I don't give myself the best chance to become a Springbok.
Yaku, adding to that, there's some exciting news about your future here at the Lions.
Yeah, definitely. I've signed on for next year's Super Rugby, so I'm very excited for that. I want to give myself a chance for the Springboks and obviously for the World Cup. So for me, it's the best option to stay here and to play with the Lions and know that we can go forward.
Is it just a 1 year contract?
Yeah, it's just a 1 year for
and
next
just
year.
Super Rugby or till the end?
Just Super Rugby.
Okay.
Does that mean that you last year when we spoke in the beginning of the year, you said you've been playing 7s and 15s for 5 years now? Is that an indication that you might be aiming to just go ahead with 15s and not play 7s as much?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I've shifted my mind shift a bit more to 15s to give myself the best chance, because the more you play, the better you get.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but have you been in conversation with Rossi Erasmus?
No, I haven't been in conversation with him.
Just the dynamic around the new loose trio here at the Lions and so on. Is it working well for you, and how do you find it?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think we a lot of exciting players here, especially young players like Len Massane that is coming in this week, and I think it's a huge opportunity for him to play. And I rate him as a junior player because he's really good standard and he's a very good player, and hopefully he can stand Warren's feet for.
Just maybe a thought on Warren, not to put anybody else down, but did you maybe miss his leadership last weekend?
Yeah, Warren is a very, very good leader, and I think we almost didn't miss his leadership that much, but I think we missed his calmness a bit because as they scored the first, second try, we started a bit. It felt like for me we started panicking a bit. We should have just kept control and make it basic and no offloads or don't chase the rucks, give penalties away. So I think that was maybe one thing that we missed off Warren last weekend.
Kwagga, there's this big perception, especially in South African rugby, that flankers has to be this big race of people, players, and how do you feel about being one of the smaller flankers? Do you think that it's justified that a lot of coaches look for big players, and is that something that puts you off, or how do you feel about that?
No, I take it as a challenge for me to prove them wrong, and I think for me personally it's always a good thing if I prove them wrong. Like when we played against New Zealand, when I played for the Barbarians, it was a huge opportunity for me to just show the world and everyone that it doesn't matter how big you are, if you can play the game, then obviously you're good enough. So for me it's just to keep my standard and to keep getting better every day.
Okay,
Cool.
thank you.